जय हिंद एवरीवन, आई खुशी कनौजिया फ्रॉम द भोपाल स्कूल ऑफ सोशल साइंसेज स्वागत करती हूँ आप सभी का एसएसबी स्पेशल सीरीज़ के आज के एपिसोड में। तो आइए जानते हैं व्हाट वी शुड डू और नॉट व्हाइल प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर सीडीएस एंड एसएसबी। एज वी नो देयर आर सेवरल पाथ, सम आर रॉन्ग एंड सम आर राइट। तो जानते हैं हमारे चीफ गेस्ट के ओपिनियन जो क्या कहते हैं इसके बारे में कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए और क्या नहीं। हमारे आज के गेस्ट हैं मिस्टर यदुवेंद्र सोलंकी, एलुमनाई ऑफ बीएसएस एनसीसी कंपनी, बैच 2021-22। जय हिंद सर, कैसा लग रहा है आपको वापस बीएसएस में आकर वहीं पर ही इंटरव्यू देते हुए जहां कभी आप ट्रेनिंग दिया करते थे?
जय हिंद खुशी. It really feels very good to come here back at the land where I have been trained and where I have given training. But more than that, it feels very good to sit with you, one of the cadets of BSSS NCC, and give my interview. So it feels, certain nostalgic thing to come here back again and sitting and not even, interacting with you, but giving a podcast with you. So that is a good and very proud feeling.
सो सर, नाउ कम टू द क्वेश्चन। आपको मतलब इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से मिली आर्म फोर्सेस के लिए, मोटिवेट कहाँ से हुए आप?
Okay. So I got motivated from the atmosphere in which I lived in. For the friends that I made, those all friends were somewhere interested into joining Indian Armed Forces only. So from that I got motivated, and then you know that in college I took part in NCC and served here for 3 years. So that was a huge turning point for me to get really motivated to go into armed forces. Let me tell you that every member in my family, my father, my mother, my sister had been in NCC. My sister has also taken part in Rajpath contingent in 2018, and my mother was also senior officer of one of the college of Bhopal. So this is in my blood, NCC in my blood. And I was always prepared to join NCC if I do not join National Defence Academy, so that if not National Defence Academy, I remain in touch with Indian Armed Forces somehow. So NCC was the best option for me. When I joined NCC, I already had the knowledge about NCC because of my family background and the camps that are being conducted in NCC and the importance of camp in the life ahead after NCC. So whatever step I took in my NCC tenure, it was somewhere motivated through my family background only. I went to RDC to continue my legacy of family. My sister had been in RDC, and thereafter the things started getting molding into the manner in which I wanted. And the leadership that I have seen in my family, that has also left a huge impact over my mind, because I have always, I have since my childhood seen the type of leadership that is, we can say the true leadership, how you command your men. I have seen this in my family. So when I came in third year, I applied the same formula, and this is how everything worked in my NCC.
Okay,
Yes.
sir. So sir, if I am talking about armed forces, so why you choose CDS over TGC?
Okay. Let me tell you first the difference between TGC and CDS.
Okay.
TGC एक technical entry है.
Yes sir.
CDS means Combined Defence Services Exam. Through TGC, and TGC also is for the engineers only.
Yes.
If you have good scores in your engineering field, then you can certainly go into TGC. Right, but it is a technical entry, means if you qualify certain cutoff marks, then you are good to go. You get the call letter for the SSB, right? And but the disadvantages of TGC is that there are very less number of seats available.
Okay.
And also a fact of the matter that if you come into the merit of TGC, then only you go into IMA, Indian Military Academy, and if you do not make up to the merit of TGC, then you go into the Officers Training Academy, Chennai. So this is the fact. Whereas CDS is an exam which is conducted by the UPSC,
Yes.
and that is why it has more weightage. When you clear an exam conducted by UPSC, you sit in standard, means you qualify as standard, and when you go into SSB, in same manner you are assessed. They assess you on the same manner that this candidate has come here after clearing a UPSC exam. So there must be something special about him. There must be some some good qualities about him. So that is why in SSB the CDS recommendation rate is also high.
Okay.
So that is why I preferred going into CDS more than TGC.
ओके सर, ओके सर, जैसा कि हम सभी को पता है, लाइक हमारे जो ड्रीम्स होते हैं हम उन पर चलते हैं तो बहुत हमारे जो कदम होते हैं बहुत जगह लड़खड़ाते हैं. तो आपकी प्रिपरेशन के टाइम पर आपका हार्डेस्ट टाइम क्या रहा है?
Okay. See, are you asking preparation of SSB or CDS?
सर बोथ.
Both? Okay, see, for CDS, if you are not totally prepared, if you haven't started even an inch for the CDS preparation, you need 6 months at least for the preparation. And if you have little bit of preparation, 3 months is enough. I started from zero, so that is why I needed 6 months. You know, this is not the case with me only. It is the case with every person who prepares for the CDS or any UPSC exam. Whenever you prepare, you do not have any certainty that whether even after having so much of preparation, whether you will be able to clear the exam or not. But you give 8 hours or 6 hours of your daily routine into preparation. You know, so that build up pressure from inside you also and from the family also कि ये तुम कर क्या रहे हो, पूरे दिन घर में बैठे रहते हो, सारी चीज़ें कट गई हैं, दोस्त भी कट गए हैं, खेलना भी कम हो गया है, बस पढ़ रहे हो. उसके बाद आउटकम आएगा कि नहीं वो भी कोई सर्टेनिटी नहीं है. You know, so this is the pressure that builds up. So this was the same case with me. And at a time you start thinking कि यार इतना जो हम चीज़ें पुट इन कर रहे हैं इसका रिजल्ट आएगा भी कि नहीं आएगा. Because the paper, you don't know the question that are going to come in paper, right? So this was the tough situation for me to tackle. But fortunately I have the circle with me, the friend circle. They always kept motivating me. That don't think about the result. You just do your work, keep doing your work, irrespective of how much pressure you feel, irrespective of whatever you feel. Just keep doing your studies. Whatever you can do at your hand, you do it. The result is not in your hand. You know, so that thing to digest in your mind was actually very tough. Right? Nice. So that was the toughest situation for me in preparation of CDS. For SSB, I didn't prepare for SSB for last 1 year. I was preparing for SSB for last 5 years. I couldn't join NDA, National Defence Academy. So thereafter I had a life of 4 years ahead of me, that is of engineering. So I had to plan my 4 year of life according to that will help me in my SSB. I took every step so that I can increase the weight of my profile. Means I started going in the fest. I started looking forward to hold more positional responsibilities, organizing fest, taking part in NCC, somewhere trying to get the leadership roles. And trying to diversify my profile as much as possible, so that when I sit in any job interview, not even armed forces interview, in any job interview, whenever the interviewer will see my profile, he will get impressed by my profile at the first hand only, and thereafter my interview will start. You know, so I kept doing all these things for last 5 years. And again for the SSB, the same uncertainty is there. Once you clear CDS exam, you have around 4 months or 5 months for the preparation of SSB. So in that phase also you have uncertainty. You put in so much, you do everything. And you know, a different thing about SSB that makes it different from CDS is that there is a syllabus for CDS exam, but for SSB there is no syllabus.
Okay.
Right. So that also puts pressure. At a time I have felt pressure that whether I'm able to crack SSB or not, whether the Indian Armed Forces need me or not, do I have any problem in my personality or not. So these were the points where I felt actually the pressure, hard times.
Okay sir. तो sir, as you said that कि CDS और मतलब SSB के लिए कोई syllabus नहीं होता है.
Right.
तो how you prepared for SSB?
Right. See, basically there are certain aspects. First of all, for all the listeners who are seeing this, for going into Indian Armed Forces, you need to have very good communication skills, very good command over your English language, right? So this is very important. So I worked on it. I still remember that I used to practice lecturate every day. Lecturate is a test that is conducted in the SSB. For 3 minutes you're supposed to speak on a topic, a certain spontaneous topic which is being given to you. So for 3 minutes you have to speak on that topic. So I used to do practice of it daily, and I did it for around 2 or 3 months, and I had practiced over 400 to 500 lecturates till now. So I worked on that for the SSB. Second thing was my general knowledge. I have good command over my general knowledge section as well. Means what is happening around, what is happening in international relations, Indo-Pakistan relations, Indo-China relations, Indo-Israel relations, Indo-Russia relations, foreign policies, and what is happening inside country also in politics, everything. Because I have a habit of reading newspaper for last 2 years, and also one habit that whatever article I like in newspaper, I generally cut it by the scissor and preserve it with me and make notes of it. So this is how I prepared my general knowledge section. The other section was personality section, on which I kept working for the last 5 years, gaining as much as leadership role as possible.
Yes.
Right. Doing as much as camps possible in NCC. Doing everything, means trying to maintain my personality as all rounder.
Okay, sir.
Right. So I kept my preparation stick to this strategy. Or so this was how I prepared for my SSB. Right?
Okay, sir. So, sir, when you were preparing for CDS or SSB, how you deal with your distractions, or how you avoid it?
Yeah, see, there ought to be distractions and temptations. There's always distraction and temptations around you. But if you are clear in your mind that what you want to do, if you are clear in your mind that you want to clear CDS exam or any exam, any competitive exam, then you have to make your circle according to that. By saying that make your circle according to that means आप किन लोगों के बीच उठ बैठ रहे हो.
Yes.
अगर आपके ये कोई बुरी बात नहीं है कि आपके दोस्त डाइवर्स सेक्शन में हो सकते हैं, किसी का कोई मल्टीपल इंटरेस्ट है, किसी का कोई और इंटरेस्ट है, इट इज़ नॉट bad thing. But at a time when you're preparing for certain exam or any interview, then you must have a circle of people who are actually like-minded, who are also preparing for the same thing.
Okay.
So I kept my circle like that only. मैं जितने भी मेरे फ्रेंड्स थे जो किसी और चीज़ में इंडल्ज थे, मैंने उनसे थोड़ा सा कट आउट किया. not breaking friendship but cut out. And जितने भी मेरे फ्रेंड्स थे जो who were preparing for CDS exam and SSB, I kept in contact with them.
Okay.
Right. So ऐसे ही हुआ और फिर मिल के तैयारी करी. Always kept motivating each other that we have to push ourselves. तो ऐसा इन्वायरमेंट ही ऐसा क्रिएट कर दिया कि सुबह उठ रहे हैं तो वही चीज़, रात को सो रहे हैं तो वही चीज़, फ़ोन पे बात भी कर रहे हैं तो एक ही टॉपिक है हमारे पास, दैट इज़ क्लियरिंग UPSC CDS एग्जाम एंड SSB. So that is how you have to do it in anything. If you want to kill your distractions and temptations, that is how you can approach it. There are other ways also. You can control yourself by your own, but that is quite hard at this age, right? But this is a smart way.
Okay, sir.
To create your circle like that only, right?
Nice, sir. Sir, what was the mantra that you followed during your NCC journey? Like as you are an active cadet and as well as an average student.
Okay. See, in NCC journey, as far as it is concerned, I followed one thing very strongly, that just focus on your hard work. Do your hard work, do also smart work, and do not do that makra thing, right? So makra कहीं नहीं मारना, जितना हो सके उतना हार्ड वर्क करना है, जितना हो सके उतना स्मार्ट वर्क भी करना है, so that you also give time to yourself as well. So this was the mantra that I used to follow in my NCC. I have a mind of doing hard work in a very smart work manner. Before going to RDC, I would tell you that I started preparing for RDC even before when I came into NCC. Right, I went to RDC in my second year, but I was preparing for going RDC just 1 year before when I came into NCC. Right, so I prepared for RDC for 2 years, and doing drill, and doing drill at those places where nobody goes, and practicing speaking that time as well, power expression, English, and then reading as much as possible about NCC and the service subjects and the common subjects. So this was the kind of hard work that I used to do for the 2 years before going to RDC. So that is the mantra: do your hard work with your smart work, but don't do any makra.
Okay.
Right.
So, sir, what do you think about the mistake that generally aspirants make during their SSB or CDS preparation?
Okay. First, I'll cover about CDS, the mistake that aspirants made. The first mistake is not following a proper routine or timetable.
Okay.
Generally, what I've seen in aspirants, that whenever they start preparing for CDS, they run into different directions. कि मैं ये भी कर लूँ, मैं ये भी कर लूँ, मैं ये चीज़ भी कर लेता हूँ, पॉलिटी भी पढ़ लेता हूँ, ज्योग्राफी भी पढ़ लेता हूँ, अरे नहीं ये नहीं हो रहा तो फिर मैथ्स भी पढ़ लेते हैं, एक ही समय पे सारी चीज़ें, तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा क्लटर अप हो जाता है. सो रादर दैन डूइंग दिस, यू शुड हैव अ सेल्फ कंट्रोल, मेक अ टाइम टेबल कि आज मुझे ये करना है, ये करना है, और ये करके ही सोना है मुझे, लेकिन यही करना है, इसके अलावा एक और चीज़ नहीं देखनी है मुझे, यही करना है. सो ऐसा एक डेली रूटीन फॉलो करना चाहिए. अगर आपका डेली रूटीन नहीं होगा तो सर्टेनली यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू क्लियर एनी एग्ज़ाम, नॉट इवन CDS, एनी एग्ज़ाम, एनी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्ज़ाम्स. सो यू मस्ट हैव अ डेली रूटीन कि आपको सुबह वाले टाइम में क्या करना है, आपको दोपहर वाले टाइम में क्या करना है, आपको इवनिंग वाले टाइम में क्या करना है. एंड ऑल्सो यू हैव टू डिवाइड द सब्जेक्ट्स एज पर द टाइमिंग ऑल्सो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई विल टेल यू दैट इन CDS एग्जाम द फर्स्ट पेपर इज ऑफ English, the second paper is of general knowledge, and the third paper is of mathematics. The English paper generally happens in morning time. So in your preparation also you should study English in your morning time, so that your mind get acclimatized with that attempting English question into the morning time. And in the afternoon time there is general knowledge paper. So you can do mathematics or general knowledge into in afternoon time, so that your mind get acclimatized with that. So in this manner, this is called smart work, but you are actually doing hard work, right? So this is how a candidate should proceed with his preparation. And the question that you asked, distraction and temptation, these should not be there. This is also a mistake that a candidate make in CDS preparation. And and losing hope. I've also seen some of the candidates who lose hope just 10 days or 20 days before the exam, but the fact of the matter is that those 10 days and 20 days immediate before the exam is actually the very crucial time period. If you do things as per your strategy, if you stick to your strategy, whatever strategy you have made in those last 10 or 20 days, then certainly you can score good marks in CDS. But if you lose your hope because of the same things, whether I can clear exam or not, if you lose hope for that, then certainly you're not going to clear, right? And one more thing, that it is also a game of mind. If you have control over your mind, you can clear CDS exam as many times as possible, right? When you in CDS exam while attempting, what happens when there are certain questions which nobody can attempt, non-doable questions. UPSC deliberately put those questions in paper.
Okay.
So if you are not able to do any question, then please leave it. Don't let that pressure come on your mind that I am not able to do this question even after having so much of preparation. मैंने इतनी प्रिपरेशन कर ली, उसके बाद भी मेरे से 10 क्वेश्चन नहीं बन रहे लगातार, तो इससे प्रेशर बनता है. इट्स ओके. अगर आपसे 10 क्वेश्चन नहीं बने, लीव इट, फोकस ऑन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. दिस इज़ अ थिंग, दिस इज़ अ क्वालिटी दैट इज सीन इन ऑफिसर. अगर कोई चीज़ हो गई है तो हो गई है, उसको छोड़ो. नेक्स्ट चीज़ आपके सामने क्या है, उस पर फोकस करो, एंड उसे कैसे अच्छा करना है उस पर फोकस करो. सो दैट इज़ द थिंग दैट हेल्प्स यू इन सीरियस एग्जाम. दैट इज़ द थिंग विच हेल्प मी पर्सनली, राइट? And coming to SSB part, the mistake that some of the candidates I have seen that they make is having wrong coachings.
Okay.
Right, I'm not saying that going to some wrong coaching centers. No, having wrong coachings means there are some certain things that the candidates are being taught in some coaching centers or some persons that are not supposed to be done in SSB. Right, sometimes you look coached in SSB. It is quite common that when you have so much of coaching, when you have so much of preparedness, when you go in SSB, you automatically looks coached.
Okay.
Means he is already prepared. दिख जाता है सामने कि हाँ ये इंसान जो है कोचिंग लेके आया. He is not showing his own personality, rather he is showing a coached personality. Right? So this happens. So don't do this. Now how can we know that whether we are having a right coaching or wrong coaching?
Yes.
Analyze first. Do not fall into the talks of other people. अगर कोई दूसरा इंसान कह रहा है कि यार ये फलाना जगह अच्छी है या वो फलाना जगह अच्छी है, don't fall into it. Do your own research. Ask yourself that does this institution or does this center suits you or not. Ask yourself and make and do analysis. And even after, if you do not want any of these things, then prepare by yourself. That is the best thing. Prepare by yourself. You know that you need to have good communication skills. Prepare it. You know that you need to have good command over your general knowledge and general awareness. Prepare it. You know that you need to have good social skills and sense of cooperation, team spirit. Then go and play some team sport. Right?
Okay, sir.
Do it by yourself rather than having a wrong coaching. Right? And stay motivated. Again, if you will have good circle, good set of people around you who will keep motivating you, who will keep pushing you, then you will not get demotivated. If you get demotivated, then certainly the game is over.
Okay, sir.
Right? It is also a game of motivation also. How much motivation you have. If you will not have motivation, then you will behave like a dead person there in SSB.
Yes.
Right? And which should not supposed to happen in SSB.
Okay.
So these are the mistakes that candidates commonly make.
Generally
Right?
make. ओके तो सर आप भी मतलब जो आपने अपनी प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट की थी, तो आपने भी अपनी प्रिपरेशन कोचिंग से स्टार्ट की थी या आप खुद से ही पढ़ते थे?
No. I haven't started my preparation with any coaching.
Okay.
I have my guru Rajpal Singh Rathore sir. So he guided me that where you have to improve, where you have to work on, what are your weaknesses. So he was my mentor. He was not only the mentor of SSB, he have knowledge, but in life what you have to do.
Okay.
Because when I entered in my college, as per his guidance only I did work. Means where I have to go, whether I have to organize the fest or not. If I'm going into NCC, then how I have to manage my things, how I have to train my mind. So those are the things were given to my mentor to me, my guru to me, Rajpal Singh Rathore sir. Other than that, I haven't gone to any typical coaching.
Okay. Sir.
Right? I prepared by myself. I kept working on my English. I got good command over my general knowledge. Right? So these were all things which came into my preparation.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what is your message for your junior and aspirants, those who are preparing for CDS?
Yeah.
Or any competitive exam?
Yeah. Not only CDS, any competitive exam means I would give the message that start studying. Okay, you must have certain attitude of study in your personality, because studies is the only thing which is going to make difference. You might be having everything in your personality, but if the study factor is not there, then you will not going to make it in any competitive exam, right? And again, make a circle like that in which you do not get distractions, any temptations. उन्हीं लोगों में बैठिए जो लोग आपको मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं, जो लोग आपको पुश कर सकते हैं, जो लोग आपके लाइक माइंडेड है, तो उन्हीं लोगों में रहिए, उन्हीं लोगों में बैठिए, उन्हीं लोगों को अपना सर्कल बनाइए, आप आगे निकल जाएंगे. और नेक्स्ट चीज़ कि अपने आप को मोटिवेटेड रखिए जितना हो सके, बिकॉज इफ़ यू वांट स्पेसिफिकली इफ़ यू वांट टू गो इनटू इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस एंड बिकम एन ऑफिसर इन इंडियन आर्म फोर्सेस, देन यू कांट बी ओनली स्टडिंग. जितना हो सके दूसरी चीज़ें भी करना ज़रूरी है. यू हैव टू रन ऑल्सो, यू हैव टू रीड नॉवेल्स ऑल्सो, यू हैव You have to be a diverse personality, a good personality. So do this. Rest for clearing any competitive exam. Your determination, dedication, motivation, circle, everything counts. So this is the message that I want to give to my juniors and
Okay,
everyone.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, anything funny or strange happened with you during your SSB?
Okay. I tell you one incident. There is a task called GTO task in SSB. And in that GTO task also there is a subtask called individual obstacles,
Yes.
where the kind of obstacle race, but you do obstacles on your own,
Okay.
right? There are 10 obstacles. You have to perform all. You have to clear all 10 obstacles in a given time frame. Sorry. So what happened that when I started doing obstacles one by one. So there's an obstacle called commando walk,
Okay.
right? So when you climb that commando walk, it generally moves, vibrate,
Okay.
and it is at quite height. So generally you get afraid whether you should not get down in the sand. So same was happening with me, but I focused so much on that. When I was walking at that commando walk, that I didn't hear the whistle,
Okay.
the end whistle of my time duration. I didn't heard it. And then what happened that I kept doing my task. I cleared my commando walk and I kept doing the other task. Then I noticed that something wrong is happening. The other candidate who was after me was running with me. I thought that what is happening with this? What is happening? How can we two are running at the same obstacles? Then I saw some of my friends who were sitting behind. They were saying, "What are you doing? Come back! Whistle is already blown." So I had only attempted 8 obstacles, but in all I attempted 12 obstacles. I did 4 obstacles in extra time.
Okay.
And my GTO was looking at me in a very what I would say strange expression, and I was quite embarrassed. And that time only I thought that I'm not going to make it.
Okay.
I'm going home at the 5th day. This was the first incident. The second incident was at my command task. Command task, basically you are made a commander and you are supposed to call 2 subordinates in your group. So I called my subordinates, then I performed my task, and I was able to clear that obstacle in the given time. And my GT officer also appreciated me. Then she asked me that, "Yaduvendra, what you have left?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't know. I don't think I have left anything." Then she said that, "Look behind. You have left your load behind."
Okay.
Right? So that was a quite big embarrassment for me, because load means you're injured team player. आपका जो इंजर्ड साथी होता है आपने उसी को पीछे छोड़ दिया और आप पाकिस्तान से इंडिया में वापस आ चुके हैं. So that was the second time when I thought, no, this. I even smiled on me, I laughed on me, but I thought, no, I'm going back at home. I'm not going to make it. But I did some good things at other tasks also, so that led to. So these were the funny things that happened in my SSB.
Okay,
These
sir.
were the personal experience.
ओके ओके नाइस सर. सर जब आप पास हुए थे, लाइक एनसीसी से पास आउट हुए, तो ये था कि टाइगर एक था टाइगर.
Okay.
देन वी गॉट न्यूज़ दैट यू रिकमेंडेड
Okay.
इन IMA. तो फील हुआ कि लाइक टाइगर जिंदा है.
Okay.
सो टाइगर अब क्या प्लान कर रहे हैं नेक्स्ट, लाइक व्हाट विल बी द नेक्स्ट सीक्वल?
Yeah. See, I'm very fortunate that you as a junior think like that. But personally, it doesn't happen like that. I'll tell you. If you take the ego of your success on your head, then certainly you can get success to a certain level. But then at some point you will not move ahead. So same thing happened with me. I never took these things on my mind. I'll tell you a story that when I got recommended, when we all got recommended in my group, we were actually crying, not because that we got recommended. We were actually feeling bad for the teammates who couldn't make it, who got conferenced out. We were actually crying for them कि हमारे दोस्त नहीं हो पाए हमारे साथ में, राइट. एंड that was the not moment when I realized that I got recommended. It is nothing big at that time. But when after few minutes when we were taken to the commandant office, and when the commandant came and when he addressed us, his first line was that gentlemen, now you are the ambassador of Indian Army. Now you have to behave like one. Wherever you go with an image of Indian Army that we have selected you. So that was a time when I felt, yes, I have done it. But then again, when I came back to the candidate line area, what happens when you wear that chest number of plus sign, when you go into the line area of candidate accommodation area, the rest of the candidates who are there for the SSB, surrounds you. Sir, ऐसा क्या किया आपने? Sir, you are like God. आप तो भगवान हो. But again, after going through all this procedure, you become so down to earth that I said, no, yeah, there's nothing big. I've also got recommended, you will also get recommended. There's nothing big. So for you to say tiger and all these things is quite fascinating, but it's not the same case with me. Yes, I will say that in the organization which I am going in, the Indian Army, wherever it is human behavior, wherever what is your profession, whatever is your profession, you want to reach to the heights. So if I am going into Indian Armed Forces, then I certainly wants to go at the heights and do best whatever is possible. Yes, right, sir. So might be from, if you look from down to up, it might look like that filmy thing, tiger zinda hai, all these things, but it is quite very normal. Right. I'll certainly work on my other things, and when I go into Indian Army, then we'll try to do my best.
Okay,
right,
sir.
And let's see what will come, what result will come.
All the
right?
best, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Honor having with you here.
Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा लगा आपको फिर से मिलकर BSS में, जहाँ पर आपने हमें जो भी सिखाया, that is literally memorable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Khushi. Thank you.